All right, so for this video, I'm actually going to go through all the day three picks. I'm not going to give a single video just for each player in the day three. I kind of want to get through this fast because I'm really late already to announcing all the draft picks. I'm pretty sure everyone in Chicago already knows this, but just for the sake of, I don't know, for it feeling good and just for me to actually show these players some love as they are new Chicago Bears, I am still going to be talking about these day three picks, even if they're not going to make the roster or they're not going to be big contributors. I mean, who knows? Maybe they end up being all pros, and I really hope so. But just for the sake of that, I am going to be making a video still on this. But all three draft picks, all day three picks are going to be in this video. So starting off with pick 132 with Ruben Hyppolite, or Ruben Hyppolite. I forget which one it is. Well, I don't know which one it is. I don't know how they pronounce it, but Ruben Hyppolite is what I'm going to go with. The second, he's a linebacker from Maryland. He is 5'11", 240 pounds, so pretty short for a linebacker. He has a ton of experience with 46 career starts over 5 seasons. And for some reason, and I don't know why I can't find this for whatever reason, I'm pretty sure it's out there somewhere, but I can't find his age. I know that he's, like I said, he's had 46 career starts over 5 seasons. So that tells me he's at minimum 23 years old, probably 24, 25 years old. I'm going to guess probably 24, maybe turning 25 this year. So I'm going to guess around that age range, which is, I kind of hope he's 23. That'd be kind of better for us. But regardless, man, this is my least favorite pick out of the day three picks. And honestly, out of the entire draft, this is my least favorite pick. And I know he had a blazing 40-yard dash time of, I believe it was like 4.42 or 4.39, which for a linebacker is amazing. But outside of that, there isn't really much when it comes to his play style and it comes to him on the field that you can actually go like, wow, this was really worth the investment as a 4th round pick, because a lot of analysts had this dude going undrafted. So for picking him up in the 4th round, when you could likely have gotten a running back at that point, I don't really understand it. And it wasn't a position of need, or at least of dire need. Sure, you could say that there was a hole left once Jack Sanborn left, but I would have been fine with Noah Sewell just being there, being our 3rd linebacker, or just signing one, a free agent of whatever, even a veteran on a minimum deal just to do that. But I don't really like this pick at all. This is sort of like a D grade for me. I mean, if he's fast, he's good, and maybe he contributes on special teams, which is what I really hope and what I kind of expect out of him. But I will say the one thing that people do say about Ruben Hyppolite more than anything is his leadership and his character. So, if he's a guy that can sort of bring that locker room culture, and if he transforms his defense just by doing that, I guess. But I don't think we're going to ever see him be like an all-pro or just even really a starter. I think he's just going to be a special teams ace, which is fine. Keep in mind, it's still a 4th round pick. We're not taking him in the 2nd or 1st round, so that's okay. But I just think you could have gone so many other directions here. So I don't really like this pick really at all. But moving on to pick 169, the Chicago Bears go ahead and select Za Frazier the second. I believe it's the second. I don't know. Maybe I just copied and pasted that wrong. But I think his name is either Zay Frazier or Za Frazier. I'm hearing both online. I'm going to go with Za Frazier until someone corrects me. But Za Frazier, cornerback out of UTSA, so that's the University of Texas, San Antonio. This dude, 6'3", mind you, he is a cornerback, not a quarterback. He is a corner. He's a DB. 6'3", 186 with 33-inch arms, and get this, a 4.36 40-yard dash. That is absolutely insane, being 6'3". And on top of that, he's got a 36.5-inch vertical jump. So this dude is just an athletic specimen at the cornerback position, and I really like this pick. I'm going to give this one an A. There's a chance he probably plays safety, and I say that because, one, I believe that's what reports are coming out as. But two, I think also the fact that he's kind of bad in man coverage, and obviously as a corner, you're going to be playing man coverage more times than not. And when you're a safety, you're not really going to be playing man coverage a whole lot unless it's like an all-out blitz. And he does specialize in zone coverage, so honestly, this screams a safety pick for me, especially, given the fact he is 6'3". And if you want to put him sort of as not like a slot corner, but sort of like that, those 3 safety packages and sort of have him playing zone, that's fine too. And I really like that. The only downside that I would say about him is that he turns 25 years old in October. So this whole age thing when it comes to NFL draft rookies, I think it just kind of like my PTSD with Velus Jones, if you guys remember him, unfortunately. But Velus Jones was also the same thing. He was 25 years old in the year we drafted him. And that doesn't mean all of a sudden that he's not going to be good. It just sucks that because even if best case scenario, Frazier turns out to be an all-pro safety or corner, he's not going to be in his prime very long. And actually, by the time his rookie deal expires, he'll be 29 years old. So it's like you can't really extend them at that point. I mean, you could, but you're not going to get like a second contract after that in your prime. Whereas a guy like a Shamar Turner who's 23 or Colston Loveland who just turned 21, there's going to be guys there at his position that are going to be in the same draft class as him, but they're going to get more extensions and more playing time in the NFL because they're just simply younger. So that kind of sucks for Zah Frazier, man, but I'm not too mad at it if he ends up being at least a solid backup or a solid contributor and maybe hopefully a starter. It would be very nice if he became our starting free safety after Kevin Byard leaves, because I don't think he's here on the Chicago Bears after the season. But that would be great. Don't expect it too much, but it would be nice for a 5th-round pick to become our starting safety. Hopefully he's good enough. And then pick 195, we got Luke Newman, who is an offensive guard from Michigan State. And he is 6'3", 312 pounds, so, decent size for a guard, nothing too tall, nothing too light. Started every game in 4 seasons in Michigan, and he actually did pretty good against Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant when they were going against their rivals of Michigan. I like the trench pick, but honestly, from what I'm hearing, he's got alligator arms. He isn't exactly the best. He was the best lineman on his team, which is probably why he got drafted in the first place, but I don't know. This is a trench pick, so an offensive line pick. You can't really go wrong there. We'll see how he develops. I don't imagine him being anything more than sort of like a third-string backup. I hope he turns into at least a solid backup, so in case somebody gets injured on the offensive line, because it happens every year to us, if he has to step in, that he's not going to be a liability like Nate Davis or what have you, or Bill Murray. But, it's a trench pick. I don't mind it. And then you got my favorite pick out of the day 3 picks. Pick 233, a 7th-round pick. Kyle Monangai, running back from Rutgers. He is 5'8", 211 pounds, ran a 4.6 40, so he definitely is on the slower end. Definitely not as fast as some of the other guys in this draft, like Henderson or Genty. But like I said, man, he is my favorite day 3 pick. He's had back-to-back 1,200-yard seasons, and get this, he has never fumbled in his career, ever. In his college career, which is, I believe, 650 total carries, he has not fumbled once. I'm not saying he didn't fumble like a fumble lost. He has never fumbled, period, at all. That is amazing, man. You definitely love a running back with some consistency there, especially holding on to the football. Even for a guy like Ashton Genty, a prospect that some even touted as generational, his biggest issue was fumbling and also pass protection too. Genty was also bad in pass protection, and Kyle Monangai seems to be better than him at that. If you go watch the highlights, man, I mean, Kyle Monangai, he's 5'8", but he still blocks really well. And I think just having sort of like that low center of gravity and sort of being already lower, because they say in football that the lowest man wins. So him being 5'8", he's already the lower man against most linebackers, or pretty much every linebacker. So if he can go ahead and be really good in pass protection, man, who knows? One day he could be the starting running back, and he could be a 3-down back. He didn't catch the ball a whole ton in college, but it didn't seem like he was like a Derrick Henry or anything where he just looks weird catching the ball. He looks like he's got natural hands. This dude is just amazing running back for Rutgers, man. Like I said, 1,200 yards, back-to-back seasons. And this is literally the epitome of that saying, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. This dude is a small dude, but man, he runs angry. And he reminds me a lot of Isaiah Pacheco, who, funny enough, was also a 7th-round running back from Rutgers. So it'd be such a storyline like finish, I guess you could say, if another 7th-round running back from Rutgers ends up being a starting running back for an NFL team and ends up being a pretty solid running back at that. Now, obviously, his ceiling is sort of lower because he doesn't have the speed. He's only, like I said, he's 5'8", 211 with 4.6 40 speed. So he's sort of like a David Montgomery to me. And even if he turns out to be David Montgomery, man, that'd be amazing for us. We don't really have, you got Roschon Johnson, but you don't really have the other, pure ground and pound guy, a guy that has, pretty good vision that just breaks a ton of tackles. And like I said, Roschon Johnson has been sort of underwhelming lately these past 2 seasons. So You know, who knows if he gets any more carries this year, if he kind of gets relegated to the third backup role. But man, I think that Kyle Monangai has a lot of potential. I like him as a day three pick. Let me know what you guys think of all these day three picks, man. Which one was your favorite? Which one was your least favorite? I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna say Ruben Hippolyte for the least favorite, but I could be wrong. Comment that down below. Bear down, I'm out.